Hi guys, welcome to your favorite aptitude training program, and this capsule we are going to cover a question from time and distance. This is a very interesting question related to the concept of stoppage. So let me read out the question. A car travels at a speed of 80 kmph between two stations A and B 480 kilometers apart when it doesn't stop between any other stations between them, but it goes at an average speed of 60 kmph when it stops. What is the average stoppage time of the car per hour? Let me repeat the question. A car travels at a speed of 80 kmph between two stations A and B 480 kilometers apart when it doesn't stop between any other stations, but it goes at an average speed of 60 kmph when it stops. What is the average stoppage time per hour of the car? How to solve this question? Some of you might be wondering what's the procedure or what's the formula if it exists. Yes, this question can be solved in a few seconds if you use the formula rather than worrying about what's the concept behind it or how to apply the concept you know. I'll just explain that formula here. Car speed without stoppages, speed of the car without stops is equal to V1. Next, speed of the car with stoppage is equal to V2. Now, the stoppage time formula is V1 minus V2 divided by V1 number of hours. It's in hours. So using this formula, if you just look at the question, V1 is 80 kmph, V2 is 60 kmph, stoppage time is 80 minus 60 divided by 80, that is 1/4 of an hour, that is 15 minutes per hour. So this is how, using the formula, we can find the answer very quick. Though it took time for writing, but when you need to answer it in the exam, it is simply 80 minus 60 divided by 80, which is nothing but 1/4. 1/4 is nothing but 15 minutes. So this is how, using the formula, we can solve it very quick. This is how, using the formula, you can find your answer pretty quick compared to solving it using the traditional method. I'll explain also the traditional method of solving this particular question. Let's look at that. The car is traveling between A and B. When it travels without stoppage, it's traveling at 80 kmph. Let's assume D is the distance. So time taken to travel this distance would be D by 80. Whereas with stoppage, it's traveling at 60 kmph. So time taken would be, so this is without stoppage, this is with stoppage. So D by 60. So definitely time with stoppages should be more than the time without stoppages. Here D is already given as 480 kilometers. So time without stoppage would be 480 divided by 80, that is 6 hours. Whereas time with stoppage would be 480 divided by 60, which is 8 hours. Now the difference is nothing but 2 hours. I'm saying total stoppage time is 2 hours. But this 2 hours should be spread over this total 8 hours. So that's why we have to do 2 by 8, which is nothing but 1/4, that is 15 minutes per hour stoppage time. So this is how, using the traditional method also, we can find the answer. But as I mentioned, sometimes it's good to always depend on the formulae because they give the answers quick. So whenever you look at a question, you need to figure out whether that needs to be answered using common sense or formula or some reverse engineering or using traditional approach. So in that 5 seconds, when you observe the question, you should be able to identify which approach is the right approach for that particular question. I trust you enjoyed the way we solved this question. We'll be coming up with more such interesting questions and the smart ways of solving them. Stay tuned.